didn't even care with the title for this one. I said straight up exactly what it is. Ain't no trying to title it a fancy way or whatever. That's literally what I'm talking about, and that's what we're gonna do.
I'm doing, I think, as much animated cartoon as I've ever done. The only thing is I diversified. I developed a lot of talent over the years, and I couldn't use all of this talent for the cartoon, so I went into the nature films. And then, just for the fun of it, we went in doing films with humans. And, it's just diversifying. You know.
And along with his apple pie values came a certain small-town prejudice.
He was as bigoted a person as I've ever encountered, especially in a position of power. He made no bones about not liking this or that type of people. He especially hated, oh God, he didn't like Jews, especially New York ones.
Joan Scott had been aware of Disney's anti-Semitic reputation when she arrived at the studio. Being part Jewish, it made her feel uncomfortable.
You done lost your damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me.
Hey y'all, it's Harriana and I'm back with another video. Hello, if you are new and this is your first time ever seeing me, welcome back to The Pirate Ship, also known as Harry Hook's Pirate Ship. Remember that I am the captain, you are not my first mate. I don't got no first mate because you wanna know why? Nobody's worthy of being the first mate. Hello, I know y'all are tired of seeing me fix my hair, but I don't know, I look like I don't know. This angle during this time of day, anyway, whatever, this is the only time I had to record this, but I just have not been doing the best. I said I was gonna do Disney-cember this year. I don't think I am going to anymore. I just haven't been up for it. When I tell y'all this year has beaten me up and spit me out and chewed me up, like this year beat me the fuck up. Like I just can't right now. And the events, it's just like a week worth of like all that shit that happened to me last week was just kind of like worse than all the shit that has happened all year. And I'm just like, I deserve a break. And I know y'all want content, but Harry gotta put herself first. I know y'all want this and that and the third, but my health and my sanity comes first. So yeah, but today we're just gonna be talking about the racism of Walt Disney, because I remember when I made that video about Dr. Seuss being racist, all of y'all was like, go to Disney next, he need to be dragged too. And you know what, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and do it. So I have the notes right here on my phone. Let me mute my phone, by the way. By the way, my glasses are off because it's time for me to get a new glasses prescription. But I know y'all didn't come here for this shit. Let's go ahead and get started with the agenda for today. It's time to accept the fact that Disney was racist. He has also been proven to be anti-Semitic and misogynistic. But today, for this specific video, at least for the first part of it, we're specifically just going to be talking about his ill feelings towards Black people or those of African descent. Let's go. So when people hear Disney's name, when people hear the name Disney, what is the first thing that comes to mind? Does a person come to mind or a company come to mind, okay? When people hear the name Disney, they usually think of a company and not just one person. They think of multiple people. When you hear Disney, you probably think of Raven-Symoné, Miley Cyrus, even Michael Eisner, if you're a Defunctland fan like me. Disney is much more than just one person now, okay? Because usually you would have this and that and the third. Every now and then we get like a new face of Disney or a new face of Disney Channel. Disney has hundreds of thousands of people working for their company. Like I've even worked for Disney before, and I made an entire video about how I got kicked off a Disney show. It was something, okay? I'll give y'all that. That was, oh Jesus, never again am I going back. If I'm ever desperate for money, I will go back, but oh Jesus, no. How many people work for them? They get away with what they do more and more because it's not everyone's fault, and it isn't, okay? Just because one section of Disney did something wrong doesn't mean that the other section did. But the company overall, We gonna get there, okay? Whenever Disney gets called out for like its racist bullshit, I have like those Disney adults that will defend them for whatever they do. Like, oh my gosh, like Disney, there has been so many proven problems with this company, but Disney adults will sit there and defend them like Walt Disney is sitting there paying the rent for them. No, ma'am. If anything, you're paying his rent. Anyway. They always feel the need to come up and say, you know, there's more than one person that works for Disney, you know. And yeah, we know that. But remember, Disney is a company. And if your stupid ass actually did your fucking research, you would see that the old Disney movies, or the ones that have the most racist shit in them, Walt Disney himself worked on those. So, yeah. We're not lying when we say that it has been proven that Walt Disney was racist. Disney adults accept it. But then a lot of Disney adults don't like people of color, and a lot of them are homophobic. We're gonna get there later. I had a whole video about Disney adults. But the old Disney movies had so much racist stuff in them that Walt Disney himself added in, okay? So in Walt Disney's first movie, Snow White, he referred to the dwarves as a nigger pile. Yes, he actually said it with the hard R, but we are not saying that mess over here on The Pirate Ship. He literally referred to the 7 dwarves in pre-production of Snow White as the N-word pile. And y'all sit and defend that, okay. Basically, Song of the South, I made an entire hour-long video about what Disney didn't want you to see in that film. I told you guys exactly what happened in it. I will have the link to it down below, all that good stuff. But Song of the South is basically Disney's version of Gone with the Wind, which, for you guys who don't know, Gone with the Wind is a racist movie. Song of the South caused Disney so much like controversy that they just took it away from viewing in general. Like, they made an amazingly racist movie and they took it from syndication. Like, you literally can't find it nowhere. You can, if y'all look hard enough, you can find it, okay? Because I did. Usually if you ask around, there will be somebody out here with a copy of Song of the South for you to view. With Song of the South, the entire film was offensive, but the racism in the other movies over time, it was just like 1 or 2 scenes. That's why they let Dumbo stay, and that's why they let Peter Pan stay. But an entire movie where that was the main focus, they just got rid of it. Which was it. Disney honestly thinks getting rid of Song of the South makes them look good, but them like acting like it doesn't exist actually makes them look worse. At the end of the day, Song of the South shouldn't have been created. Now we're going to, when I was talking about how there will be racism within 1 or 2 scenes, we need to talk about that damn crow scene from Dumbo, because, whoo, first of all, Dumbo, it was like towards the end of the film. So Dumbo was a fairly short movie, so I say this was probably roughly in the last 5 minutes of an hour-long film. Dumbo, in the end, he is introduced to these black crows, and one of the crows' name is Jim Crow. By the way, all of these crows were voiced by black people, but back then, a lot of times when you only see black people in Disney movies, they are playing animals or inanimate objects. I have proven this before with an old AMV that I have made, okay? But Jim Crow is the name of one of the crows. And if you guys don't know what Jim Crow means, Jim Crow were laws back in the day in the United States that enforced segregation. Y'all really thought y'all ate with that? Walt Disney really thought he ate putting a black character in a movie named Jim Crow. What? Like, do something ever just be so racist you just kind of laugh because you're kind of uncomfortable? Like, okay. There are multiple issues in Disney's films made while Walt Disney was alive, and he put a lot of his time and effort into them, where you can point out, hey, that is not right, that's offensive, that's racist. Disney, like many other white people back then too, they were racist, but they didn't realize they were, and that's where a lot of this was coming from. Here I am going to read you guys what Neil Grabber, a Disney biographer, said about him. Disney biographer Neil Grabber writes in his biography, Walt Disney, The Triumph of an American Imagination, that Walt Disney was no racist. He never, either publicly or privately, made disparaging remarks about blacks or asserted white superiority. Like most white Americans in his generation, however, he was racially insensitive. Real with y'all, he is the last person that should be talking about this. Like, you get paid a living to kiss Disney's ass. Of course you were gonna say nice things. Of course you were trying to make excuses for this grown-ass man's actions. But I don't think he understands what racially insensitive means. I am going to explain it, okay? It would have been one thing if he called the dwarves the N-word and he got called out on it and then he never did it again. But he continued to do more racist bullshit, and he even made an hour and 30-minute long movie. I'm pretty sure Song of the South isn't that long. It felt like forever when I watched it though, because of how boring and bad it was. He even made an extremely racist movie. He has done racist shit over and over and over again, and has been called out on it over and over again, because the NAACP was on that ass when he made Song of the South. One time, okay. 2 times, no. 3, He has done racist shit multiple times. That's not being racially insensitive anymore. That's just being straight up racist. From all that Disney has done, from putting racism into his work and being racist in real life, I can't help but give the company a side eye. Okay, because I'm like, from the beginning, because everybody was like, oh, the company Disney, they were never bad, yada yada yada. Disney was never a good company to begin with, because the man who created it himself was not great. As I said, I give Disney the side eye for the most part. Disney is one of the most powerful companies in the world. I'm pretty sure we all know that. They own so many things. They are everywhere. They have sponsorships and partnerships with so many people out here, okay? So I'm pretty sure Disney and McDonald's, they like in cahoots with each other, okay? Why you always think Disney toys are always being sold at McDonald's, okay? Disney's everywhere more than y'all realize, okay? When you watch Nickelodeon and when you watch Cartoon Network, they play in Disney commercials there. You can't escape Disney as hard as you try. It's gonna find a way there, okay? Like when I did that Campus Movie Fest program that we still deserve to get an award for, Disney was one of the people sponsoring it. And by the way, there is nothing wrong with you enjoying Disney, okay? I enjoy plenty of Disney things, okay? Y'all know I call myself the Descendants enthusiast, because I is. You can enjoy going to Disney World. You can enjoy shows and movies, okay? You can enjoy the merch, okay? I love me some good Disney merch. I'm not gonna lie. I prefer the fan merch now because I try to give my money to that company as least as I can. You can enjoy the music. I love a lot of that stuff that comes from friggin' Hollywood Records. I can't help it, okay? No one is telling you that you can't like Disney, okay? Especially to the Disney adults, please hear this. No one's telling you that you can't like Disney. But this is a conversation that needs to be had. We need to address the fat ass elephant in the room when it comes to this company and its horrible racist background. It's a conversation that really needs to be had. And it's just time that we stop pretending like this didn't happen. Because a lot of people were like, oh, well, that's not that big of a deal. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This company, oh, Jesus. When you go to
last time that I saw you, it was heaven. You said that you got off around 7. I guess that I'm just a fool. The marks on your face leaves me to stomp in pace. I don't know where you've been and why your hair is.
I know you're tired of having crusty ass lips. Wearing a mask all the time gives you no excuse. Head over to HarianaHook.com. Oh, you don't want that? Well, she has a bunch of other things to choose from. Don't worry. Pick yourself up something super cute because you're like super cute and stuff.
Disney World or a lot of Disney properties or anything like that, you see a lot of statues of Walt Disney, or you see a lot of statues of Mickey Mouse, which basically is, you know, fictional Walt Disney. Many people admire Walt for his work. And I will admit that Walt Disney was a very talented man, okay? No denying that whatsoever. But just because he was a talented man does not mean that he was that great of a person. Aside from Walt Disney being racist, he was a lot of other issues too, okay? He was not that great of a person. Even if you get rid of Walt being racist, if you take that part of him out, he still has a lot of issues. Like, he was extremely cocky. Like, he even stole people's work and claimed it as his own when it came to a lot of the shorts and whatever. He was very misogynistic. It has been proven. Plenty of people have tried to say he is anti-Semitic. Some people tried to say that he isn't. But there are numerous claims out here to back up that it can prove that he was anti-Semitic. He was also classist. Are we surprised? No. Walt Disney made it pretty clear how he felt about certain groups of people. And here I am going to read you guys a piece from this article, and I just have a warning, okay? The stuff in this article right here, it's very disturbing. So listener and viewer discretion is advised for this. One of his former employees told me, Walt was a genius, Walt was a friend, Walt was a generous, and Walt was a tough son of a bitch. He was all at once. He had also described as an arrogant businessman, a self-made tycoon, and a person with a large ego. Walt Disney misled the public into believing he was the artist responsible for all those wonderful short films. His legend is so interesting at times that an art gallery in Florida once sent out a flyer claiming they were selling valuable Disney limited sales by a man who invented animation. He didn't invent the medium, nor did he design or animate the first Mickey Mouse. I assume you know about UB Iwerks' importance. If not, see Leslie Iwerks' terrific book and video, The Hand Behind the Mouse, about her grandfather. Disney scholars say he was a good animator, but by the mid-20s, he was more valuable to the company as a producer. UB Iwerks was a business partner and head animator until he left Disney in 1930. I suspect that Walt was naive politically. It appeared he didn't understand how others felt about being underpaid and not getting the expected bonuses after the initial success of Snow White at the box office. He certainly didn't agree with the ideas and others' labor issues that were raised before the strike. The company's conservative attitude about women employees in the 1930s was to mainly hire them for low-paying jobs in the ink and paint department. Disney did, on a rare occasion, hire women as artists or designers. The list of women who were better paid artists include Mary Blair, Sylvia Morley Holland, Vereen Harding, Retta Scott, and several others. Although one would call this attitude sexist today, it was the norm in the industry at the time, and I wouldn't call Walt or the company racist or sexist for their employment practices before World War II, unless you clarify the statement and say the vast majority of American companies had similar attitudes about hiring women. Maurice Rapp tells an awful story that he says Walt told him about why he became a Democrat. In his youth, a few sons of local Republicans beat him up and poured hot tar on him because his father didn't vote Republican. As for Walt's feelings about the fascist Germany, Elliot said he regularly attended meetings and social events of the American Nazi Party. The statement is probably a gross exaggeration of the truth, but he did in fact meet with fascists, including Germany's most celebrated filmmaker Leni Riefenstahl, while she visited Hollywood in 1938. Her LA visit was protested by people with strong anti-Nazi feelings, and several studio heads decided not to meet with her. Walt's main motive to meet with her may have been to find a way to recover money on his firm by German film director. Bitch. All I gotta say is we told y'all so. We told y'all, okay? Right there, full on detail. We told y'all. I will have the link to that article down below if anybody wants to read the rest of it, because that right there, I'm gonna have the links to everything that I use for my sources for this video, because y'all need to hear the truth. Y'all deserve to hear the truth. We told y'all. That's all I gotta say. We told y'all. Whenever people want to bring up the bad about Walt Disney, they say this: oh, it wasn't that bad because that's how things were back then. And yes, technically you aren't wrong. That is how things were back then. But just because that's how things were back then didn't mean it was okay. Every time you ask them to explain why do you think it wasn't that bad, and they say because in the past that was normal. Just because certain things that are normalized are not okay. Like, y'all want to know something that is normalized and I personally don't think it's okay? Why are kids being forced to go to school and they have to pay for their own lunch? That should be free. They shouldn't have to pay for that. Just because that's normalized don't mean it's okay. Walt Disney was wrong as hell a lot of the time. Okay? Accept it. The man who makes your favorite stuff, the mastermind behind a lot of your favorite things, the mastermind behind this giant corporate country that is trying to turn the world into a monopoly, was not great. No amount of talent will overshadow the fact that he had very shitty views, okay? He literally met up with a problematic filmmaker, and I learned about that woman too in my film class, and she is awful. You can't find no excuse for that right there. I'm sorry. My film teacher also didn't like Disney either, so I'm glad that she bless my film teacher's heart. I'm just thinking, as I mentioned, that's how things were back then. I'm gonna be real. I don't think Disney would have been that successful of a company if Walt was a good person, okay? Because somebody had mentioned something about nobody gets to be a billionaire if they're a great person. You gotta hurt people in order to make that much money, okay? That's just how capitalism works, okay? We live in a very capitalist society, and people will literally do what they can and hurt other people to make money. It's so trifling. I feel like if Disney was a good person, Disney would not be that powerful of a company that it is today, okay? And he would not have been, if he would not have been how he was, like I say, if the company did hire more black people and hire more women to work for them, okay? They would have gotten a lot of shame for that. Because I've seen, like we've learned in the past in history classes, where places would openly allow blacks to come in, or they would allow black people or women to work for them, and they end up going out of business, or they end up getting harassed by the general public for being accepting of others. Like, American history is terrifying, okay? That's the real American Horror Story. We need American Horror Story, Civil Rights Movement. American Horror Story Disney. That would be funny. Like, if the company did, they would have gotten shamed for that. And also in that article that I read to you guys, it was mentioned that the animation industry, that's just how things were. It was a thing back then to make fun of black people in your films. Like, Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes are very, very guilty for this. And I have made videos on both Tom and Jerry and the Looney Tunes racism. Problematic shit sold back then. It sold well. Very well. Suspiciously well. Like, it's so weird to me, because I remember we were talking about, have y'all noticed that white people were so bored back in the early 1900s that they literally were making films and plays to make fun of black people? Like, that's weird. I'll say, black people living out here rent free. Many famous people back then, including a lot of y'all little actors and filmmakers, were racist. Disney has become more and more inclusive and not as offensive as these years have gone by, especially after he passed away. That's when you really saw a shift in the company's content. And one, because of money, okay? Disney is a company, as I said numerous times in this video. The overall goal of a company is to make money. That is always the #1 goal with a lot of these companies, to make money and then some. They know that having openly racist shit will not sell anymore. At least they won't sell it. At least it won't be able to sell to a good amount of people. So they stopped doing it. Instead of getting black people to dislike them, they wanted to get them to like them so they can take their money. Take their money and to avoid lawsuits, because one thing Disney know that they don't like is a lawsuit. Why they think they so nice to y'all at Disney World? They don't want to sue. They don't want no trouble. They don't want nobody saying nothing bad about them. They don't want to lose your money, okay? That's why Disney tries to push this narrative that they're here for diversity and all this mess. They don't want to lose the coin. Like, we were talking about this at Dragon Con before. The main reason why a lot of these companies started including diversity is not because they care, but because they want the money from those people. A lot of times they don't care about having people of color and women on their staff. They hire them because they know that those people can make them a lot of money. Disney is aware of its companies and founders' racism beyond its just racist problematic past, okay? Like, Disney is aware of the company and its founders' racism, and it's not even just the racism, it's just a lot of problematic shit. Disney has stated plenty of times, because remember last summer when the Black Lives Matter movement was very trendy? Disney was out here putting out statements talking about they stand for the black community and we don't stand for racism and stuff like this. And I was just like, okay, sure, Jan.
Sure, Jan.
They state that they don't stand for this anymore simply because companies are aware that they are at risk of losing money if they don't do the right thing. Disney knows damn well if they put crows that represent black people in a film today, it will cause plenty of people to drop their support from them, okay? They will lose workers, they would lose money, they will lose some kind of income. Even if that causes all of those people making an outrage and it causes them to lose 1% of the 99% of money that they have, they're gonna be upset. They don't want to lose anything. Like, there will still be people that support Disney if they were still horrible. Disney doesn't want to make sure they lose anyone, okay? Why do y'all think Disney tries to cater to so many people now? They want to appeal to everyone because they want everyone's money. Disney doesn't want to lose any of their audience because they know somebody would be upset with that, and they know that that particular group will leave and not come back, but they want those people to stay. One thing a lot of people have learned is that yes, you can make a lot of money off of children, but you can also make a lot of money off of adults that are interested in that same thing, okay? Because you want to know why? It's one thing for parents to spend money for their kids, but it's another for a grown adult that has their own job, their own shmoney, to like that and engage in that. Disney caught on to the fact that a lot of adults do like their properties and it's not just children. So that's why they started making merchandise that appeals more to the older audiences. Why do y'all think they have certain things in their theme parks specifically for adults only, okay? They are aware that grown folks with no kids whatsoever enjoy Disney. They took advantage of that, especially with this day and age now where we're being a lot more open about our interests and whatnot. That's why they're having more events for adults. Especially with Disney being partnered with Marvel now, and Marvel targets to a wider demographic than just their Disney princess films and whatnot. They love that. And they continue to milk it and milk it and milk it so they can make that money off of grown people. What can we take away from all of this? One, the main thing we should take away from all of this is just to know your history, and just at the end of the day, the main reason Disney changed its ways is because of money. Two, the second thing that we all can take away from this is to support smaller creators, okay? There are so many small creators out here that are offering what y'all keep begging Disney to give y'all. Go take your money and your support to those people that actually deserve it. People that actually care about the things that they are making and not making them simply for profit. Disney, support the Spark shorts, like the Pixar Spark shorts. Those have so much amazing work and dedication put into them, and you can genuinely tell that the people who make their films care. Support small indie creators and companies, small creators out here giving the stories that Disney won't give y'all, or they'll give y'all, or they give y'all terribly. You want better diversity and representation and don't want to support a money-hungry company? Go to a smaller creator, okay? They got what y'all want. Y'all just not looking. Okay, I didn't mean to make that sound so mean, but I understand it is a lot harder to find smaller creators and whatnot. But if you search hard enough and if you try hard enough, you can find what you're looking for, okay? I know for sure, for starters, if anyone's looking for like new web series or anything, go to the fandom.tumblr.com and click on web series, and boom, you'll find a lot of stuff in there that's made by smaller, more independent creators, okay? A lot of them web series in there are problematic. A lot of that stuff from Rooster Teeth, that's a smaller company that is very problematic, but I'm telling y'all, okay, just make sure you guys are looking around, make sure you guys are following small creators and whatnot, because those are the people that genuinely do need your support, especially in this time like this. And that is it for today's video. If you liked it, please make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And you gotta know what you can support me. I have a Patreon. Most expensive tier is $5. The cheapest is $1. The link to that will be down below. Also have a buy me a coffee and a Ko-fi link for anybody that wants to give me a little tip, buy me a pizza or buy me a coffee. It's totally optional. Links to that will be down below. If you guys want to purchase merch, I have 2 of my products on right now. My hook necklace and my bugaboo necklace. And also have this nail polish that I created myself. It is vegan, cruelty free. No animals were harmed in the process of making it. I low-key was because them fumes. Yeah, I have a lot of other fun and cool stuff for my merch, and I have so much other great stuff that I have coming up next year. If you guys would like to see the new brainstorming stuff that I have coming for my store next year, because y'all know your girl is a fashion designer. I've always wanted to be one, and I'm glad that I can finally feel more comfortable saying that I am one. The link to my Patreon will be down below if you guys want to see that. You get updates on what comes to my store and all that stuff there, so that's fun. Dang, my camera caught off while I was in the middle of that, but the project is my web show. I will have the link to that down below. What is next? New episodes should be coming out the rest of this month. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just been a lot going on, and I have not been able to focus my attention to that right there. If you guys want to follow me on everything at Hariyanna, H-A-R-I-Y-A-N-N-A. That's all I gotta say. Thank you guys for watching, and have a good night.
Will just blow your mind. Buttercup like villains 3 at a time. Bubbles will smile while kicking your butt, and Blossom will lead them out of their rut. Cherish and Powerpuff, 2 of a kind. Both wanna save the world before bad times. From Townsville, Memphis, New York to LA, the Powerpuff Girls are just here to stay. They coming through and fighting, and everyone they're shocking. You know no one can stop them all because of the chemical X. They coming through and fighting, and everyone they shocking. You know no one can stop them all because of the chemical X. They coming through and fighting, and everyone they shocking. You know no one can stop them all because of the chemical X. They coming through and fighting, and everyone they shocking.